Misinformation about immigration is fueling fear across the Las Vegas Valley. At UNLV's We Need to Talk panel on immigration, attorneys and advocates warned of a wave of panic spreading from online rumors to real-life consequences. The discussion centered around facts versus fear. The UNLV Immigration Clinic says calls have tripled in the past 3 months. It also says many immigrants are now missing their court hearings, leading to automatic removal orders that are hard to undo. The clinic's managing attorney says she's seen more clients giving up because they're scared they will be arrested at these hearings.
Make sure that it's at least fact and that you're not creating this false narrative and distracting people from something that's not actually happening.
Panelists say the best defense against misinformation is education, and knowing your rights is essential. They also encourage people to seek legal help if they have questions about their immigration status or court cases.
And meanwhile, some international students at UNLV could soon have their legal status in the U.S. reinstated. At least 7 students had their visas revoked in recent weeks. The university says the student and exchange visitor information profiles for these students were terminated, but now they have been returned to active status. UNLV says it's still not clear if any of those students' visas will be reinstated.